I believe that anybody who studies in Europe or elsewhere in the world has a position as a leader and therefore has responsibility already, because you have the chance to study at the university. You have the chance to change things and to influence things. You have the brains to say no and to decide, where do I put my brain power, where do I put my time, what do I do with my life? And not many people have this chance at all.
I think it's important that the science should not be narrow-minded. When you study physics, for example, then you have to also understand how physics plays a role in the society. The same way, if you study biology, you have to understand how other science plays a role in the society. So I think in our education, society is missing. I think when you include the knowledge what you are getting from the university education, how this is transferred or translated in societal things, if that is included in the curriculum of the education, then naturally the students who are studying will understand for what they are reading, not just for knowledge, but also the knowledge should be translated something useful for the society. I think then the social responsibility will automatically come.
If the university doesn't actually deal with questions of ethical or moral, or what is good, what is the right way to act, it cannot expect the students to consider it. So maybe there's some more reflexivity needed in approaches by disciplines, and I think that even applies to natural sciences. And of course this is related to how you shape a question. What do you exclude and what do you include? If you exclude all questions of moral and value and norms, then of course you are free of it, and you cannot even exercise or train young people how to deal with these challenges.
Europe especially has the functions as a model. The South often still, unfortunately, sometimes looks at us and says, what do they do? What do they research? Where do they invest their money? How do they live? And if we take the wrong decisions, it influences the rest of the world. And therefore maybe our responsibility is even more than maybe in the South. But that does not exclude the South to make their own decisions.
For me personally, I think ethics is an integral part of anything what I work. So if you think of students and teaching in university, whatever you teach should be not just for teaching, but it has to have ethical values, right? So if you tell about production of crops, then you should also tell them production is one part of the whole life cycle or food value chain. But more than that, how the produce is made and how the society is affected or not affected by this production, and in turn how it is marketed and what is the effects and not effects. For the way of you teach, you should have ethical thinking inside that. So professors, when they prepare, or the students when they discuss, they should think about what is the effect if I do that, if I don't do that.
Well, I think in the first place to take it seriously as a topic. At least in agricultural sciences, I very often see that problems like poverty are sort of broken down into very tiny issues. So actually the ethical dimension of it gets completely lost. I think by being able to also see the social dimension in natural sciences is a good way of being aware that things are integrated and interlinked. I mean, poverty or sustainability are huge, complicated issues. People need to be trained in thinking really in complex issues and linking them to real life problems, and not not being overwhelmed by abstract concepts, because in the end they should contribute to improve the world, which is also a big thing, but in the end this is also the task of public education.
I think that's an excellent idea, and it's very much needed, even at other universities, because it's an element that is, I think, almost always forgotten, that there is an ethical question. So if you can come up with a model like this and maybe share it with other students at other universities, I think it's a very good idea, and I wish you good luck and all the success. Whoever had that idea, congratulations.